Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to build your own little mod pack on Minecraft. Um, well, let's get started here. First of all, there are quite a few ways to build a mod pack. Multi-MC, it's really nice. It's basically a tool that allows you to have different instances with different mods and everything. But I recommend getting that. And in Multi-MC, you basically have just all the instances, and you can edit the instance, for example. And within the instance, then you'll be able to install Forge, install like Loader, and basically just put your mods in here and change the configs and everything really easily. Few configs. But the way you can also do it is just having Twitch launcher. And right, so basically what you want to do is go to Minecraft. When the first time when you open this up in the mod section, there won't be anything here, like it won't be lit up like this and it won't have any mod packs installed. You have to click on it and it will install it. You can create a custom profile. Test pack is the profile name for this one. It doesn't really matter what you put here. Just whatever you want to call your mod pack, basically. You can select the version here. You can select the Forge version here. I recommend just getting the latest. And basically, you created the profile now. And now you can go to open folder and you see mods. So basically, there's nothing in it now. This is where you can put all your stuff in, basically. So what you can do is, so basically you have all these different mods here, right? This is the curse, the official curse mod page. This is basically where you're going to get all your mods, unless you have some from GitHub or a different platform. Important to know is that you can't upload things like basically Optifine on here, because it will basically, if you look here, it will reject it, reject it, so it won't work. You can't upload it to your mod pack. While we're here, we can go to mod packs and we can start a project here. And this is, if you don't have an account, you need to make an account first, but basically here you can start your own project page. So that if you do this, that basically gets you the page that I have here. So this with all the files, you can add images, etc., an issue page. But for now, we're going to look at the mods. So basically, you have all these different mods, right? You can just add in anything you want. Just make your dreams come true, basically. You can put literally in anything. So what we were going to do is get just enough items, because that's a mod that everyone likes to use. It's a general mod that always is in a mod pack. You can just download the latest file here if you want. You don't have to. I don't really use this button. I recommend not using it, because sometimes it will download a version that isn't very stable. So what I exactly mean by that is that it might not be compatible with a lot of other mods. The way I tell if it's compatible or not is basically if it has a lot of downloads here, it's probably going to be a really stable version of it, because it's we downloaded a lot. It's probably used by a lot of other mod packs. So you can always tell, but in this case, most of the time you can just get the latest one. So basically, unless it's an alpha version, by the way. If it's an alpha version, I recommend not to get it, because the alpha versions tends to, for a mod pack, they tend to be very unstable. You can test it, of course, but I'm not sure if it might work. If it's going to work, it's very unstable. So it might work one time, it might not work the other. So basically, you download it, right? So then you want to go to your test pack, the folder of your test pack. So basically, if you forgot how to do that, so just open folder in the instance in your mod pack on the Twitch launcher. By the way, I recommend Twitch launcher over Multi-MC, because Twitch launcher has less weird dependencies. Sometimes Multi-MC tends to crash with a certain error that has to do with Multi-MC, because it might not work with some mods. So I just recommend using the Twitch launcher. You want to drag this file, or go to the folder. If you're using a different web explorer app, this one might show here for you. Web browser. Let's see. We have just enough items here, right? In the downloads folder. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm dragging it over to the mods folder over here. So now it's in the mods folder of the test pack. So that's the mod in my test pack now. So like that, you can also add journey map. We're going to want to get the Tinker's construct in there. Let's see. Yeah, let's get Tinker's construct too. Let's download journey map, the latest version too. Gonna get Tinker's construct, the latest version. Make sure you download everything for the same game version, because if it's older or newer, it will definitely not work. Well, it might work in a very unlikely though that's going to work. It's not very likely. Okay, so basically I'm going to drag this over to the mods folder too. So now I have 3 mods, right? Let me just you want to keep the names as they are, not like with this we have a copy of a file, because it just makes stuff easier, and sometimes it sometimes it screws with the configurations of the mods, other mods, the compatibility, etc. So basically, so I have those mods, right? Just enough items, journey map, and Tinker's construct. When you have this, it's not going to do much for you right now. So what you want to do is you want to go to my Modpacks test pack, and you want to press play. What it's basically now going to do, as soon as I press this button, it's going to generate a few files, and I'll show you in a bit. So I started that pack. I'm going to take a look at the folder now, okay? With the test pack, and you'll see config, logs, resource packs, and saves. Resource packs you should really not care about. This is really not important for a mod pack, and you can basically ignore it always. Sometimes it will tell you this. You must include the right dependencies for Tinker's construct. So this basically means one mod needs this mod first before it can work, and this version of it or above. So what I'm going to do, of course, is get that mod. So when I go back to the curse page, you see Mental, right? I'm going to download Mental. I'm going to drag that over to the test pack and put it in the mods folder. Now, what you want to do is you want to start it again. Refresh real quick to make sure it's in there, yes. And play. And as you can see, it's now loading up. Forge is installed and everything is fine. It's just quickly loading everything. Now we got the home, the menu screen. So what I'm going to do now is basically check the mods real quick. Is everything recognized and everything in there? Yes, it looks like it. Now let's go into a world and see if it's actually in there and functional without crashing. After adding a few mods, you always want to test it first. This is because sometimes mods are incompatible with other mods and they will crash each other. This is sometimes fixable by changing config files, but sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's just incompatible and there's no way to use it together in a pack. It's very complicated. It's a lot of testing and a lot of figuring out. So as you can see, there's journey map right now, and if I press E, you can see that also just enough items is in here. Let's check if Tinker's construct is in here too. And it's working fine. Yes, it is. Tinker's construct. That means that everything is working fine. So basically, when you're in... Let me just turn off the music real quick. So basically, when you're in the pack, when you're in your own pack here, what you always want to check, first of all, is this. So you press F3, right? you want to check your FPS. Is your FPS really unstable compared to what it should be? Like with what it should be, I mean, is it should you, if you play with, for example, a big Modpack, and your FPS there is better than here, even though you have quite a bit less mods. That means there's something unstable going on with one of the mods, and you might have to change this in the configs, which I will show you later. As you can see, there's also on the right, there's memory under Java. There's memory. You want to check if that's stable. So basically, with stable, I mean, is it not going up too much? Like, is it not just absolutely going insane on the memory there? Because right now it stays under 1 gig. It stays between 600 and 900 MB, and it stays like that. So that's good. This will of course change if you play more, but if you're just running around the pack, it shouldn't change without you doing anything. If it goes up a shit ton, that means it's basically just it's going to cause problems. It's probably the memory leak. And you'll have to fix that, because otherwise your Modpack will become unplayable after a while, and it might crash, become really unstable. So, well, that's basically how you can test it. Now, if I go back,